And on this episode of My Debt Was Greatly Exaggerated, we have this from Film Buzzer. Blade is reportedly back in development at Marvel Studios with 2028 release date. Man, there is going to be one hell of a documentary. If this movie ever comes out, the documentaries about how it was made are going to be immensely entertaining because I hope to see every single version of every canceled script. This movie has been in development for years. They teased Blade at the end of the Eternals. That was during like pandemic time. That was like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. They have been teasing Blade, and this movie has been canceled over and over and over again. 2028, Marshall A. Ali's gonna be like 70 when this thing comes out. I saw the other day, I think it was like the original Blade writers were saying they're baffled at how Marvel keeps screwing up. Blade might be one of the easiest intellectual properties to do. Here's how Blade is in a nutshell. If you haven't seen the original movie, go check out the three movies. They're absolutely fantastic, still hold up today. Blade is simply this: dude with kung fu fights vampires. That's it. That's all you have to do. And what did they do? They wanted to make it where his daughter was the main character of it, that the Lilith vampire wanted to harness her powers. I saw one variation that was rumored that Blade is leading a group of like three female vampire hunters. Like, what is wrong with you people? Catering to the female demographic, it's not working. Here's the problem. Here is how Marvel and all these other companies, they are reading the all the figures backwards. They're taking social media clicks and people shilling for this. Because every time you see something with like a feminist propaganda to it, you go in the comment section. One of the first three comments is, "Oh, here come the male chauvinists." Like, "Oh, here come the fragile masculinity people." That's what Marvel and all these other places, they're banking on this. They're saying, whoa, 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 if we put females in this, every female is going to go see this movie. And every male feminist is going to see this movie. And all these people are going to do all day, every day, just like with The Last of Us. They are going to post positive things about Bella Ramsey. They are going to attack every single solitary person online and shame them publicly for having a different opinion. And by doing so, you're going to turn all these people around into feminists and say, yes, we need more female representation. Ryan Coolidge, whatever way you pronounce his name, he had some wild quotes the other day saying that women are better filmmakers than men. And if we want to see good movies, we need more female filmmakers. Like, what's with the humiliation tour? What is going who in their mind? I mean, the dude, I wasn't a big fan of the Black Panther movies because I think T'Challa's character was done way better in Civil War than in his own movie. And I thought, what was his name? Claw was done way better in Age of Ultron than in the actual Black Panther movie. So I really wasn't a big fan of it. I think Killmonger might be the one of the worst villains ever made. Not worse like, oh wow, this guy is really bad. It's like, no, 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 no. He had the dumbest plan out of any villain ever in the history of the MCU. But yeah, he made $1 billion with that one. Wakanda Forever, hated it absolutely. I think it might have made money. And now Sinners, a movie that's being hailed as a massive win. Three movies this dude has under his belt that have been pretty damn successful and pretty liked by people. And now he's going out there, the humiliation tour, talking about, yes, we need more females and women and everything. Unbelievable. But back to Blade. Yeah, those were some of the early script ideas that were scrapped, thankfully scrapped, where Blade wasn't even going to be the main character in his own movie. Imagine for a second you're writing a movie. It's called Blade, and he ain't the main focus of it. All you have to do is black guy in leather, kung fuing the hell out of vampires. The comics are there. All you have to do, if you want to make a great Blade movie, just take the most popular comic book and say, you know what? we're going to do this. But no, 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 no. They'd have no idea what they're doing at Marvel. And from what I'm looking at, they're trying to do Midnight Suns. Midnight Suns was a group that was mostly dealing with paranormal stuff. Not a bad idea. And especially now when you have Moon Knight and Blade, and you're going to go with, of course, probably, I was going to say, of course, Black Knight from the Eternals. But yeah, that character, we might never see Kit Harington ever again in the MCU. How crazy is that? The Eternals, as absolutely destroyed it was online. It was a movie that had some of the biggest universe-ending implications. And all these characters that they were going to do all these spin-offs and sequels and all these things out of it. And we're never going to see that. That's never going to see the light of day. So Kit Harington as Black Knight, that was going to be an awesome thing. Him and Blade going out there and fighting with swords, fighting vampires and the forces of evil. You're telling me you couldn't make that work? Unbelievable. So yeah, Midnight Suns was maybe Doctor Strange was in. I saw some variations of the Punisher. Like, that would have been pretty cool. Frank Castle fighting vampires alongside Blade, Black Knight, and Doctor Strange. Like, you're telling me you can't do that, right? And it wasn't even weirder that a couple years ago we had that werewolf movie. And then Disney Plus was like, hey, you know what we should do? We should re-release it, but in color this time. Like, they've been teasing this dark universe, Midnight Suns universe, for a long time. They even made a video game about it. I know you didn't know that existed, because every Marvel game, it's amazing. Every Marvel console game has done horribly. Horribly. You can't even find I think the original Avengers game that came out like 10 years ago, you can't find that. It's a very rare game to find, and as someone that played it for maybe an hour, it really wasn't worth it. The Guardians of the Galaxy game, I really wasn't that big of a fan of it. And there was a Midnight Suns game. I watched the cutscenes of that thing. It's like, what were you guys thinking? It looks visually gross and stupid. So yeah, Blade in this dark universe that they've been trying to make for years, it ain't working out. And you know what? I've read, it might be false, who knows? Kevin Feige might be leaving after Secret Wars. Hopefully on his own, because if not, they're just going to toss his ass out, because at this point, they've lost so much money. I think the amount of money Marvel has lost, it's beyond any scope we could possibly imagine. Because all of these failed products, they probably want to make spin-offs of. And from what I'm seeing with Doomsday, Sam Wilson is going to be the lead of that movie. You're going to get Captain America as the lead in Doomsday. His movie wasn't good. I saw Captain America 4 recently. It was not good at all. It was really strange watching the fight scene. I think Anthony Mackie did his own stunts in it. He's very slow. That's why the shots didn't work out. The long shot fight scene is like, okay, can we speed this up? Can we maybe can we get someone else here? Yeah, movie was terrible. I don't recommend it at all. It's not even a movie that I would say, yeah, watch it and you'll joke about it and have a lot of fun. No. It was a slog to get through, and when it finally ended, I was like, really, this is the ending of the movie? Unbelievable. But again, I'm sorry, back to Blade. Yeah, also unbelievable. That one of the best characters Marvel has ever done, and you know, you'll always see people posting about Blade on Facebook saying, like, yes, this is the movie that started the MCU. If Blade failed, we weren't going to get anything else. They probably weren't going to go with Fantastic Four and X-Men and all those things. Like, yeah, the Blade movie, its success springboarded everything else afterwards. So we're talking about one of the most important Mount Rushmore characters, one of the most Mount Rushmore movies of the MCU. And you can't even get that right today. When all you have to have is, quite simply, black guy, kung fu, and vampires. They can't even get that right. But, in the end, what do you guys think about that?
Build your house upon the rock, not the sand.